Hello. So, welcome to today's session. We can have a few people telling us how their day was. We can start with Lucy. Lucy, how was your day, and how are you to begin with? If Lucy, you're kind of busy, we can hear it from Kevin. Kevin Kimutai.
Um, Hi guys. So my day has been productive. I've been working on a few things in there. And what was the question again? Sorry, I forgot.
How was your day?
Just that.
And another one, how was your day? And another one would be, what do you expect to learn from this session?
Like I said, my day was productive, and from this session, I would like to learn the automation bit of AI agents, the working metric, and also just to get hands-on with different platforms like Clinic and LangChain, LangPro, and the rest. So, yeah.
Yeah, sure. That was nice. How about Kiprotich?
Okay, hi, Amos, James, and everyone else. So maybe it was nice, just doing some tasks and grinding. So I'm expecting to get a lot from this session about the power of AI automation, and I think the session will be informative. Thank you.
I'm just curious, Kiprotich, have you used any automation tool before? Are you familiar with any automation tool?
No, not yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about Joe? You don't want to butcher your second name. Or J-O. Mahanga, is it? Or is it pronounced that? Mahanga. You can tell us how your day was and what do you expect to from this session. Or we could have GTR Cliff. Maybe just one person, then we kickstart the session.
Sorry, got in late hadi sijui swali mkao mnauliza.
Yeah, so it's just how was your day and what do you expect to learn from this session?
So actually, as at now, I'm doing bash scripting. I'm into cybersecurity. So whatever I'm expecting is maybe if I can maybe learn something on how to automate things, because the whole purpose of this bash scripting is to automate most of the things that I'll be doing. So maybe in the session, maybe I might pick up one or two.
Sure. Okay. I guess with that said, I guess we can dive in. Or is there anything you want to say?
For me, my day was good, just from work, and on nimefika Ukiingia kwa hii session. I have not done any automation before, so I also hope to pick one or two things. Yeah.
Yeah. So with that said, we can kickstart this session. Let me share my screen. Can you see my screen, right?
Yeah. Yeah, you can see.
Yeah, so just a brief introduction to what, before into the automation stuffs, it is really important for you to understand what workflows are. So a workflow is just a sequence of tasks or activities designed to achieve a specific goal, right? So it often involves movement of data or information from one step to another, right, in a curated pipeline, right? Then we dive into what AI workflows are. So AI workflows are just the same thing, but AI powered. So you can have your workflow or decision making be done with using AI, right? So why are workflows important? So workflows are important because they improve efficiency. They save us a lot of time for redundant tasks or tasks that needs to be done over and over and over again. And also, it provides us an ease of use. So we're going to explore some of the no-code or low-code platforms that you can use to automate your daily tasks and connect to different services, and what advantages and disadvantages they provide, right? So it is usually simple to use workflow tools, AI workflow tools, because as it will not require you to have prior coding experience, right? So it doesn't matter if you are new to coding or an oldie. So simple implementation is just sometimes is what you're looking for, rather than finding a really complex solution that does not solve your problem, right? So, and also it is easily scalable for a business, right? So you as a person, you can deploy your scripts and have it solve a problem for you. So let me mention some few workflow tools that I have worked with. So I have worked with initn. So it is open source. It is open source and connects to close to plus 400 tools. We have Langflow. Langflow provides the same interface, connecting node to node, just like initn. But Langflow also provides you with code that you can implement. If you're not satisfied with the workflow, you can use Langflow. You can change the code yourself and implement it the way you want. That's the beauty of using Langflow, right? We have Digital First, we have Astra, we have ManyChats, we have Make.com, Zapier. I know most of you might have interacted with these workflow tools, and some do provide a really good interfaces when working with AI workflows. So some of the advantages of using these tools would include you automate repetitive tasks that are time consuming. You also get a chance to integrate multiple applications, and the data sources are seamless. Imagine when trying to integrate something like Facebook API, Facebook Graph API. It's really tough for the developer experience, because you have to go through several steps for you to get a really perfect or working solution. But with solutions like the workflow tools that you're going to have, for example, they have already integrated these kind of services. So the thing that you have to do is just select the type of service that you want to use, and you can seamlessly integrate it. No documentation needs to be read. maybe just a few or none at all, right? So it also makes decision making really efficient, right? For example, when you're coding or when you're building an application, so you have to choose which type of resources, which type of which type of resources you want to use, which type of technology. You can be stuck choosing between, for example, a programming language like Python or Elixir. So you can say Elixir provides it's lightweight and but it does not provide awesome AI tools that you want to use, right? You can say Python is easy to learn, but it is for deployment. It's really expensive. So with workflows, it saves you time. Even you don't need to learn those programming languages, right? So it also enables the non-technical users to build workflows. So you can build something simple with using AI workflow that solves an actual problem. You can, for example, you can just build your own chatbot with Langflow without going to the necessary documentations, reading, having to learn Python or any other language. So you just need to know how to use a tool, and it can serve you really, really well, right? So it also facilitates rapid development for AI-driven applications. For example, when using Langflow, you get to instead of reading through documentation, you can come up with a workflow and just download the code as it is, right? So you'll have a clear picture on what you're trying to build. The only thing you'll have to do, just connect the workflows, make sure everything is working, then just download the code of the script that you want, and makes the development really, really, really easy. So going into some of the limitations that we have about the AI workflows is that it may require a bit of technical knowledge, but not as deep as trying to learn a programming language. For example, you need to know like which nodes connect to which nodes. You have to understand that different services offer different regulations. For example, one platform might just require you to have an API key. Another platform might require to have a client secret, a client ID. So you need to know how to walk around through these technical hitches, right? So some tools have limited AI capabilities. So for example, if you want to build something like a 3D chatbot, you can't do it with an AI workflow, right? You're limited to what you can do. Some tools, for example, Langflow, they offer limited amount of integrations as compared to something like initn. Initn provides you like 400 plus integrations. So the integration varies between different chats, different tools. So you can have something like Langflow. You need to code a bit, and for example, like initn, you just need to learn how to use the different types of nodes, right? So sometimes you get performance issues because you do not know. It's really what's the best practice to scale maybe to 1,000 users, or because you need to make your own infrastructure when like something like a workflow becomes complex, right? And another thing would be a potential security issues, because when you are building your own APIs, you know which kind of security measures to apply. So sometimes when you are attacked, you might not know which where's the technical hitch coming from. It might be coming from the workflow tools itself, or it might be coming from an error that you might have made or something. So in our session, we are going to discuss two tools. So the two tools will be initn and Langflow, right? So what's the difference between these two tools? So initn, they provide fair code workflow tools, and their main purpose is to connect make connection from different services as easy as possible. So that's why they have over 400 integrations that you can use, and they usually just drag and drop from one node to another node. I think that's why they are called N8N. Might have been called node to node, N to N, or something. Right. So some of the features include they can create complex workflow to and they can connect to like your popular like apps like Google Sheets, Typeforms, Discord, WhatsApp, which other platform, Telegram, you name it, right? So another thing would be it is easy to learn, and it is not that hard to scale when you're using like a N8N, right? On the other hand, we have Langflow. So Langflow, it's low code platform. A low code platform means that you can include your own code on the platform, but most of the features are pre-built, right? So you can build workflows that are focused on large language models and AI agents. But the thing with Langflow, they're heavily intensive on using their own ecosystem, the LangChain ecosystem, right? So it's also usually drag and drop and connecting one node to another, depending on the type of task you're trying to achieve, right? So they usually connect to Hugging Face models, spaces, and mostly LangChain, the LangChain components and ecosystems, right? But they do offer external services to connecting to other third parties and to other third parties. So they support Python scripting. You can write your own code. They offer like a good chat interface integrations, and you can embed widgets that are AI to increase the AI experience, right? So it was designed for anyone to use it. It just makes the development easy, because nowadays with AI, it just depends on how you use the tools, right? Yeah, so one tool might be what you want. Another tool is might require you to code the whole experience by yourself, right? So this is just a summary of what we have. So if someone has a question, you can raise it now before we dive into each tool. So we're going to go through Langflow, and you're going to go through N8N. Does anyone have a question? Okay. I can see we are good. So we can start with N8N.
Amos, there's one question from Cliff.
Yes, Cliff.
So in whatever like I'll be building, like do I cloud host it, or it's just for my own personal use? Can I like cloud host it?
By cloud hosting, you mean you get the actual tool, then host it yourself?
No, like deploying whatever I've built for others to use. So
actually, these two tools, they are open source.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So for Langflow, you can download the desktop version, but it is really hard to download this Langflow thing, because I don't know why they made it difficult. Or you can run it on Docker, or you can use pip to install Langflow, right? Because they are open source tools. You can go check them out on GitHub if you want to If you want to add a contribution, you can make a contribution to the GitHub repository, right? And also for n8n, it is, if you have Node.js, you can just install it, or you can run it using Docker. So it means you can install it and host it on your VPS or anywhere, then publish it. So it means you do not need to cloud host it. Have I answered your question?
Yeah, you've answered. Okay, another question. I see that you're running on Linux. Is there a difference for someone who would maybe use a Mac OS to run in the entire development stage, or is just your preference?
No, they do both of these services. They do offer. I believe NPX is on Mac, right? Because I believe Linux is just same thing as Mac. But for Langflow, you have different options. Actually, you have 4 options for Langflow. Langflow, you can download it directly to your desktop, but you can just visit their page and just do a download directly on your page. Actually, it's crashing. Don't know why it's crashing. So the next one, I guess this is why it was. I had a really tough time downloading this application on my machine. The next one would be, you can use Docker. If you're running Docker, you can pull the image to your local host. And another thing, for Mac OS or Linux, you can use pip to install. So the 4th option is you can use a company known as DataStax. So this they run the same thing. They run Langflow. You can visit DataStax and you can just run Langflow on. Is now like an example of a workflow. You see they're using Langflow. This is how Langflow would look like. So you can just use the hosted services. I didn't think I copied. For me, I prefer using the DataStax because nini nimekataa kucopy DataStax. For me, I prefer using DataStax because I had a tough time installing Langflow, but I'm seeing okay the site is being maintained. So I don't know why. So moving, did I answer your question?
Yeah, you have.
Yeah. I believe there's no other question. So, okay, for me, so going to our workflow here. So this is just a simple workflow. This is running on localhost, as I said. These solutions are open source, but it might come a time that they might make them closed source, right? So just an overview, we are going to build just a simple workflow that our research agent is going to be doing, connected to different tools. Before that, let me just show you like how the sites. Let me walk you through the platform. So this is how the platform looks like. You have your different workflows. You can add different credentials. You can create a new workflow. You can go and connect to different community nodes. So currently we are connected to like the the Searchling. If you know, Searchling is just like a SEPA API. You can connect to MCP servers. So when you create a new workflow, for example, this is just like progressive structure, right? You can have just a simple automation moving from point A to point B. So with the good thing about N8N, it is connected to very many different automation. So you can have manual triggers. This is what triggers your AI, your actions, not necessarily AI. You can have WhatsApp. You can have Facebook. You can have Facebook nodes. You can have Telegram nodes. You name it. If you find it here, you can. It will be really easy to implement it rather than just writing code, right? So, for example, this is our workflow for today. So this workflow for today has an AI-powered research agent. So this is what the AI research power agent. So we are going to send a message. We're going to trigger a message that will run through our research agent. So the research agent now has the ability to go check news. We are connected to an AI model with a simple memory, in context memory, and also has a tool to get the current date. So if you double click it, you can see this is now the first node, right? It's just a simple message node. Then we move to the research agent, right? So this research agent receives data from the first node, just like what we saw in the first session on James when he was talking about nodes. So this node brings an input to this other node. So the good thing about using this kind of tools, you can just drag and drop this. This is like the chat input. You can drag and drop it into the research agent, right here, and you can, if you can add as many parameters as you want. For example, what? Okay, for chat input, you have chat inputs. You can do like an image classifier, like an image. An image can be if an image is detected, you can do like a processing of images. So this is just like an example that this is just the system prompt. So you're a financial assistant. Your task is to find and summarize the latest news for a given company name, stock tier. So the instruction is use get tools to determine the date range for the past 7 days. You perform separate web search using the search web tool, which is now the separate tool that we're using, right? Then you get the company's full name, and this can be anything, guys. You can just input anything that you would like. So this on execution, this initiation is supposed to bring a response to this other node, right? So it's taking time. So as you can see, if I may just do this. So this is like the chat interface. So if I write something on the chat, the nodes will be triggered when they are connected. So you can see the AI is moving to the research agent. Now the research agent makes a decision using the model that you have right now, which is OpenAI. Then OpenAI knows which kind of tools to use. So for now, this is like a Google News API. This is SEPA API, I mean, by Google. So you can put in your credentials. Then the query is then decided by the AI. So as you can see, the parameters is stock market, then it passed the date, right? This is just some of the technical, a few technical things that you might want to know. As you can see, this is a post request. If you're not that technical, so then it returns a response for like the different stocks that the different stocks that we do have. So this is now the research that it got, right? Then from that, it then passes to the sentiment analyzer. So this sentiment analyzer is also an AI-powered agent that's also powered by OpenAI. You can change the models. We have different types of models. So the sentiment analysis now determines whether the financial statement is positive or negative. Then it now returns the response to the chart, right? So for example, you can see now, we can read through this. So this is now what we got. So it means we can get a justification for the overall stock market sentiment is positive due to several factors with the major indices such as the Nasdaq and the S&P 500. They were gaining markets. You can check it to confirm the messages, but you can completely customize it to your own liking, right? So if we had a workflow, just a workflow without any AI, we could just say on schedule, you can post something on Instagram, right? Without including the AI. So this is just a simple workflow, right? So with that said, is there anyone before we move to Langflow? Is there anyone who has a question? Or if you want us to change something and try Telegram. Okay, Kevin.
Thank you, Amos. I think that was a really good one. Mine is just on the risk points that you're talking about. Now, if you're talking, if like
I can't hear you clearly.
I think my machine is quite bad. Is it better?
Yeah, it's better now.
Okay. I was asking some of the risk points for the agent. So let's say you're building the workflow and then you're supposed to connect with your app. Now, looking at it from a security standpoint, what are some of the risks that you'd say the agent or the workflow, the whole workflow poses to probably an organization? Looking at it like all around.
Yeah. So yes, actually, that's a good question. So, for example, when I'm making this request, I don't know if my API is protected or not, right? And I've not done enough research to see how to protect my API from being attacked, right? So since it is a complete application, if I do something like, if I add something like a WebSocket or like a web, it is hard to determine whether if that webhook or that the data coming from the webhook is secure or not, right? So I'll have to do the configuration on Nginx or something instead of the application itself. So if I was doing the application, I would know when exposing this type of endpoint, I'd put this type of headers. But they come with different. Actually, they come with different types of. When you're sending a request, you can pass in different types of headers, but I'm not quite sure how protected they are. So you can pass in different authentication methods. Actually, you can pass in different authentication methods, but this is making an external API request. But I'm not quite sure how safe it is because I'm not the one who built the infrastructure. So I'm not sure if my requests or data coming from a webhook are that protected. So that was the one of the limitations we talked about when we were starting the topic. So it's not that safe as compared to what you are building, right? Maybe I can do some more research and find out how the different security measures works with using something like Langflow or N8N.
Okay, that's well covered. Maybe just additionally, on connecting to another application, if you said build a workflow and then you now want to connect to another application, it just uses one API probably, or you've not also connected to another application.
So you're saying if it uses one API.
Exactly, and
One
probably
API.
yes.
Okay, so it doesn't. Okay, it depends. So when you're building the workflow, you have different canvases. So for example, you can have the tool here. So this tool, you can have different requests protocols, right? You can have the first one, you can have maybe like a get request. You can have like a post request. You can have like a patch request or something. So you're not limited to only one workflow or one, how should I say it? So you can make multiple requests, but you will have to predefine them one by one. For example, if you want your endpoint to add data, if you want your endpoint to delete data, you have to predefine them. But the good thing is you can build something known as an MCP server. So what MCP servers do is, you see all these connections. Instead of having all these different connections, you can add just a simple MCP server that standardizes all the, where did it go? So this MCP client server standardizes all the connections that you were supposed to make into just one gateway. That's what MCPs does, right? So I hope I've answered your question.
Yes, very well. No more questions. Thank you.
Yeah, so is there anyone, I guess we can continue to, or yes, Joe or J.O.
Oh, hi. Hi, my name is Job. My question will be along the lines of also, partly my question has been answered because it was along the lines of security, but because I mainly work with social media.
Hello, Joe, you're breaking. Is it my internet? Hello? Hello?
I think it's a connection issue with on the Joe side. Like I can't also hear him from my end.
Joe, we lost you there. Okay, I guess we can Is there any other person with a question? We can proceed. When he comes up, when he comes back, we'll try and answer his question.
Or maybe Joe, you can just type your question on the chat box. Maybe.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So when you come back, when he comes back, we'll answer his question. So moving on to Langflow. So it's just has the same interface with initn. So they have different nodes, but the good thing with Langflow, you can actually download the code for the specific node that you do have. For example, you can have a simple. This is just a simple code class component of your agent, right? So if you have a predefined goal that you want to achieve, you can build it using Langflow, then just download the code or copy the code. And if just make sure it's working, then use it in your application. This makes things way easier. It's just like when you're trying to build a website, then you have like an extraction tool. You can extract the different types of components that you do want to have. So you can just build with the tool and just download the code and have different components, right? So that's the advantages. That's an advantage when using Langflow, right? So this is just a simple tool. It's just like the way we used initn. So we have a chat input. The chat input feeds into the AI agent. So the AI agent, so the chat agent, okay, the AI agent is now supposed to determine whether which tools to use, if it wants to use tools, or like a brain or a decision maker. So if it needs to do something like a calculation, it will use the calculation tool available to it. It will use the SEPA tool. The SEPA tool is just like what we have seen before in it, and that can do web browsing. And this is the other tool that can send out web requests, right? So this would then be outputted on the chat, right? So we can do a little play with this. Say hello. Failed to fetch the build. That's wrong. Network error. Hello guys. You can hear me, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know what's the problem with this. Let me fail to fetch. Let me deploy this page. It's logged me out. I guess you can't have two sessions running. So we have this chat inputs. We can try to say something. I don't know why it's not working. Maybe let's build it. Let's give it time to build. But from my comparison, it depends. Langflow usually is more favorable when you're trying to build AI workflows and LLM workflows, right? I'm not sure about the security details, but when you see the use of, let's say, Langflow, you can download the code, expose the endpoints by yourself. So running components, I don't know, it's taking time to deliver the chat output. Then it failed. So, but I know you've gotten the concepts. So it's just as simple as doing a drag and drop, knowing what the different nodes do, where to input the AI agent. If you need a chat input or a chat output, you can also connect to different providers. For example, here I see you can connect to LangChain API, Apify, can connect to YouTube, Notion, you name it. But for this, they are limited to what you can connect to, right? So the main focus is usually connecting them to AI driven tools. For example, the vector stores, the different types of the DBs, the ChromaDB, Cassandra. Also, I think you should have Postgres. There is no Postgres. Now you see some of the limitations of using these maybe memories. See, it doesn't have something that we're used to like Postgres. So some of the tools you can use is SAP API. You can use Bing search calculators, Yahoo Finance. So these are different endpoints of such APIs, right? So you can host this solution by yourself, or you can publish the solution using their own website, right? Or you can embed it into a website. So this is like the script you need to embed it, right? So with that said, you can try the different types of workflows and come up with the different solutions. So sometimes the simple solutions are always what we need. You do not need to know how to code for you to use these types of tools, right? You just have to know how to use these tools for you to build like a really good solution and learn something, a thing or two, maybe about security. That's maybe I can research on that. But all in all, this is how just simple workflows work, right? So with that said, I guess this is where I'm going to end the session. I'm going to send this book. So this notebook has the different RAG components, and also the different components that we have built using N8N, right? So feel free to clone it. It will be available on our AI cookbook. I will share the link to the cookbook when we are done, right? So, is there anyone with a question? Joe, are you back?
Yes, I'm back. I'm so sorry. After asking my question, my internet act up.
No problem. You can just ask it right now.
Yeah, so actually my question was, I feel like part of it had been, you had answered it. It's more or less, mine was more or less a security concern because a lot of the work that we do is majorly client work and it's managing their social media platform. So it's basically social media management. But now I was thinking like how can I use these AI tools to help me automate my work even more? But again, in trying to think along those lines, I'm like, am I at any point going to compromise the security of the platforms? Because some of them are big, and if they're compromised, I don't know like how we can maneuver that.
Okay, so for what I'd advise, I'm not sure about the security measures you have put in place by these different tools. But what I do know is when you have an open source solution, you can see where you can go through and see where the different vulnerabilities can come about and do a fix by yourself. Because if you end up choosing something like, let's say you're doing stuff for social media for your client, but the webhook URL on Facebook is connected to like a hosted cloud solution that that is on their own platform, that might there might come a time that that solution or N8N that is on the cloud might be hacked and you might lose some of your data and credibility. So my thing is you can interact with the tools, clone them, see where the different implementations and security measures can be in place.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Yeah, and how do you say your second name?
Oh, my name that name is Job Muganga.
Mhanga.
Muganga, yeah.
Muganga. Okay. So
Yeah.
I
You
didn't
can
want to
use
do it.
you can use Mwandembe. Or maybe I'm making it even harder.
Let's stick to Joe.
Yeah, okay. No worries.
Yeah. Is there any other question? No, okay. I guess there aren't any question, but at this point, I'll give it back to my co-host James to wind up.
Okay, thank you very much, Amos. I actually like the session, and actually I have learned that for me, I do a lot of like coding, the actual coding, but what I have learned is if I have an idea and I want to iterate very fast, I think the automation tools can come in handy. So yeah, and I will actually try out Langflow. Yeah, Langflow.
Yeah. Okay. With that said, we have two communities. We have a LangChain community, and we also have an AI Labs community. So feel free to join those communities and share what you're building with other people. So that might be where you get your Nyota. Yeah, or building parts now. Right. So with that said, I guess we can adjourn this.
Yeah, before you end
Yeah.
the call, when we started, we had agreed on a challenge. Like after learning, doing the learning, maybe you can go and try build something with the different tools that we have learned about. Share your ideas on the WhatsApp communities. If you face any challenge, feel free to interact with others. I hope you'll get maybe a help from Amos, someone else who has interacted with the tools. Yeah. To join the community, we are going to share the links. So I'll share the link to the LangChain Community Kenya. Amos will share the link to AI Labs Kenya as well. So Amos has shared the link to the AI Labs Kenya, and this is the link to the LangChain Community Kenya. Yeah, with that, I think we can end the meeting.
Yeah, before you forget, so let me just share the link to our AI cookbook. If you missed the sessions, all the resources are available in our AI cookbook. Yeah, so with that said, have a good night. See you in the next.